Welcome back, Lovestylers. Today we're talking about music again. It's Misty and Andrew Marcus. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Misty.
And how are you today?
I'm amazing.
Awesome. We're an artist duo. There's two of us. We do DIY recording at home. Check out Black Eyed Soul Validation. That's our latest release, which was only in February of this year. And we're already in the middle of another recording already. Hashtag power couple. Hashtag artist lifestyle. And we're going to talk about it today. We're Gen Xers. And Andrew, I want to know how you think the recording is coming so far.
Because it's just you and I recording all the instruments, acoustic drums, electric bass, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, keyboards. So basically, it's a 6-7 piece band performed by two people, two multi-instrumentalists.
Mostly Andrew, I must say.
So it takes someone to produce it and engineer it and getting good signal. So, what we learned from validation, what we loved about validation is the simple palette of the music beds, of the rhythm sections, keeping the rhythm sections a little more meaty and gutsy. Left a lot of space for more vocals and more rhythmic attributes. So we learned to be profound by not being profound, being a little simpler.
It's very hard. It's like holding back, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's just the two of us and we only rehearse it in segments. Mm-hmm. We, start off me playing drums, you playing keyboards, and all the songs are almost keyboard driven. But then when we record them, we record a scratch electric guitar with scratch vocals.
It is weird how I noticed that when we were recording this time. Mm-hmm. That's like jumping. You think it would be very hard, and it kind of is. Sometimes you obviously play guitar, drums, and bass on all of our stuff. So that's a lot of work for you. But yeah, we jump around a little bit. I think I never really thought about it till you just mentioned it now.
Well, it's fun how they evolve. So they evolve by the drums. We write the drums around the keyboard parts almost. The keyboard drives the song. We don't have a guitar player when we're hashing out drums. So like, for example, how Black Eyed Soul used to work when we had a drummer, when Clark and I would always come in days a week sometimes, and we would hash out the songs together.
And that's guitar and drums, which is also unusual.
And, that was a really good fun process. And Clark, I wouldn't be the musician I am today if it was for Clark. He taught me about dynamics.
Clark Staten.
Clark Staten, the great Clark Staten.
We'll call him out. What's up, Clark?
And, but now, so me as the drummer, you took the place of the songwriting. Like you lead the charge with the keyboards.
I'm the band leader now.
And I write the drums to you. Then with my guitars in mind, since
while you're playing
in my mind, I hear them in my head.
Yeah.
So then when we record drums, then I record bass and guitar. And it's the really first time I get to play with my drums, my own drums. I was going to say get to play with myself, but play
with yourself,
with myself on drums. Yeah. So the songs
as
evolve
yourself.
And the drums evolve. And what we're now doing, what we just got done doing today on this new release, we have drums, bass, rhythm guitars, acoustic guitars, and rhythm electric guitars recorded. Now we're re-recording the scratch vocals because they kind of feel a little different.
Because sometimes in the middle of a recording, I feel like the scratch vocal doesn't match all the perfectness of the rhythm section. If someone ever has a question about how you double yourself and not repeat yourself, you could pretend to be a different personality. And I have found that to work because a song might remind me of someone anyway. Like today, I'm David Bowie on the keys. It actually does work, I have to say. And I know you do too, because we've talked about it before.
I pretend different situations, partly different people. I love the combination of Ace and Paul in Kiss. I love that guitar relationship on those first Kiss records. And I even love the relationship he had with Bruce Kulick on the Bruce Kulick records. I've said,
cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I've said on this podcast, Paul Stanley is probably the greatest rhythm guitar player of all time and probably one of the best guitar player rock songwriters that ever lived.
You said guitar, but that was funny. However, you're right. And so is Elvis, the other one.
All those great rhythmic parts on the Elvis music was his rhythm guitar bleeding through his vocal mic.
But you said Paul Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me more about that. That's interesting.
Because he's tight. And for him to play in the Kiss songs had such a swing with Peter Criss. And then when they moved on to Eric Carr and Eric Singer, then it was more of a John Bonham feel. And that, I think that's a testament to Gene and Paul and how they were able to adapt their playing to the different drummers, because shit, I can barely adapt to myself from song to song. You know, Paul Stanley, he's just such a tone master. He's always had like unbelievable tone. I think he's guitar left on those records, maybe. Him and Ace just got great chemistry, great relationship. His guitar is just super tight and rhythmic, always with the drums.
Sometimes I pretend I'm singing in front of Gene Simmons when I'm trying to really, give yourself someone to pedestalize while you're playing. Sometimes it helps.
Yeah, Paul,
as inspiration.
Paul Stanley is a go-to for me. He is,
he's amazing.
He's amazing. It's almost like that John Lennon, Paul McCartney relationship where they're holding such a cool rhythm. That's why Paul McCartney was able to do all those cool walking bass lines.
Oh,
and Gene Simmons is great. He's the Paul McCartney of hard rock or rock and roll, because his bass lines are always, he's got the greatest walking bass lines.
Gene Simmons is my favorite bass player of all time, besides John Paul Jones.
I would say,
I figured that was like a given. Living on a busy corner as we do here, what would you say is like maybe a pro tip for those who are just starting a studio? How the heck do you not make so much noise for your neighbors? How do you keep the noise out of the recording? Like, this is a busy corner and it does not come through. What is the secret?
The best way to keep the noise out of the recording is to not worry about the noise in the recording. We're in a home, we're in a room over our garage. We have some Orlux sound, not soundproofing, but sound dampening. And the acoustic treatments that we use is simply so we get better capture of the instruments. I don't care if there's motor sounds or we got a delivery truck going up the street.
Yeah, I think there's one now.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear if
you can hear it on my mic because it's near the door.
We use noise gates. We use other things. The music is not pristine
at all.
At all, that you're going to hear motor running. Thank God our neighbor though has one of those electric mowers. Doesn't make any noise.
On this podcast, you may hear a lot of background noise. We're sloppy here. We're we want to be loose here. So this is like unplanned even. I wrote down a couple notes.
Okay.
But what did you do today?
So today because the songs evolve, because it's just you and I tracking. So it's kind of the snowball effect of, we start off with one kind of groove, then the groove kind of evolves because that's just how it is, because you add instruments, other instruments inspire other instruments. And so the groove slightly moves. We do our best with timing and click tracks, and sometimes we've changed tempos.
Check out blackeyedsoul.com. That's the easiest way to get to your favorite platform. It is streaming on YouTube and other platforms as well that you're already using. So just tappy tap tap. I like to know your favorite song on Validation. And my favorite song is Put on Pause, Careful What You Wish For, and Right By Me. Excuse me, that's 3. Those are my favorite 3. What are your favorite 3? I'm unbreaking the wall to ask you, what are your favorite songs on Validation? Your top 3.
Talk about Validation. So if I was just to go with songs I sang, but I don't want to go with just songs I sang. I think Better Late.
If they're your 3 favorites, it's the honest answer.
I like the opening track, Better Late Than Never. Really, it's a very simple song, but it came out real groovy and it's got good message, and I like the performance on it. I also like Guide Me. I like the performance from you and I on that. I like the vocal dynamic on that. I think we're really catching our wave here with our vocal dynamic like we used to have. And I think that the male-female vocal, it's very Pixies. It's very early Lemonheads when Juliana Hatfield was in there. It's very 90s pop, Imperial Teen. You know, I love bands that have that female-male recipe, you know, that they just sound real nice together. And you and I sing really nice together. You really make nice harmonies and counter melodies, especially on Guide Me. I think that's like a good blueprint of Black Eyed Soul.
Okay. And what was your third favorite? Thank you for saying that. I think we sound good together too.
Yeah.
And I'm not a great singer. Andrew's a great singer. I am not.
I'm not a great singer either, but we put a lot of stink, a lot of attitude in these vocals, a lot of attitude in these playing to, you know, make up for some of the ability. Third favorite, I really love Be Still. I love the way we did it. It sounds like 4 different bands recorded it.
Which 4?
At first it sounds kind of almost like a Ben Folds 5. And then it kind of goes to a little bit like a Cracker feel.
Okay.
Into kind of like a Zeppelin feel.
Ooh.
Then it ends on a Pixies feel. Never realized how influential the Pixies were on me until I started singing backups for you. I don't really sound like them, but they're very Pixie type, screaming guy, Frank Black.
Francis, right?
Whatever his personas. Great songwriter. He really broke my heart in an interview that his lyrics don't mean anything to him. He has such profound lyrics. And I swear to God, I read this, that he said that his lyrics are kind of like Def Leppard lyrics. They just kind of rhymey, poppy, muddly little word things, you know.
They don't mean anything is what he said.
And I thought they were so profound. I was like, whoa, man, this dude's so profound. Now, he has come out and said Wave of Mutilation was not, that was like an article of a suicide pact or something in Japan.
So the one song.
But he said like, he says, yeah, my lyrics, they just don't mean anything. They just rhyme. They sound nice.
Do you believe him when he said that?
I mean, maybe subconsciously he's putting some deep meaning behind them. I think he is, you know, I think he might be
kidding around.
Maybe he's got to be, because his lyrics are great, and Kim Deal's lyrics are great, and that's such a great band. You've grown in the recording process. You are the producer. I may be recording the drums and the bass, but you write all the bass parts with me. You're sitting there getting the clean signal. Nothing's clipping. You're helping me decide tones and move things around and EQ things. What advice do you have for people who've not done this before? They may be 16 or 56 and they're starting to do this and they want to record their own music. What have you learned? What's helped you?
Don't be afraid. I'm afraid to sing in front of Andrew, for example. This is very personal. I don't hate my voice. I think I have a nice speaking voice. I have a low voice for a woman, but I was embarrassed to even sing in front of him. Eventually, you're going to have to team up with at least one other individual. So my advice would be, if you're just starting, no matter what age you are, it's really, really therapeutic for me personally to work through some of my emotional issues, some of my mental thoughts. Transmuting problems into songs is how I fix myself. I don't want to turn to drugs. I don't want to turn to bad habits. I don't want to take it out on the world, but I can surely take it out on my instrument, and it's a safe way to do so. So that's my advice if you're just starting or if you're continuing. In short, don't be afraid to collaborate with other artists. And if other artists give you a little bit of confidence, like for me, I don't think I'm a great singer. Andrew's assuring me it's not about the singing. It's about the tone of the voice and the attitude of the singer who wrote the words on the page that got them through the time that they were having, and transmuting this into a beautiful thing. And the vibes, it actually heals the body, I think. And you believe in me, so I have to believe in me. And if you say so, I say, okay.
Collaboration is key.
Collaboration is key.
What about the 3 T's? Do you remember what the 3 T's are?
Time, tools, and talent.
If you don't have all 3, you're screwed. If you don't have the time, it doesn't matter if you have the tools or the talent. You got to make the time. If you have the talent, but you don't have the tools, I'm 51 years old. I've been playing since I'm 15. So it's taken me 35 years to acquire every microphone, every cable, every guitar, every pick. I worked 4 jobs. You know, I remember when we were playing out and we were playing in Florida, and I felt awful because some guy walked up and I had a Rickenbacker, and some guy giving me grief. Well, who are you to play Rickenbacker? And I kind of walked over to you, and we weren't even dating yet. And they're like, what's wrong? I was like, oh, guy's making fun of me because I had a Rickenbacker, man. I feel like, and she goes, you said you worked 4 jobs. You delivered magazines.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night on a 3rd shift to pay for that Rickenbacker. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy.
It's true. We eat hamburgers every night, no matter what it takes, no matter how many jobs we need, no matter how many things we go without, no matter how many things we do that are free. You'd be surprised how much money you can save and put it towards your soundproofing or your next guitar or your first guitar or something to do with music. It's all affordable. It's all affordable. We worked very hard, though, if that's what you were getting at. I've watched you and I've joined you.
Yes.
And I've taken a lot of shit.
Yes. These SM7Bs that we're speaking on right now are secondhand.
I know there's ways that everyone knows how to save money, but the open box thing that you told me about, can you just talk on that for a minute? Because I wouldn't have thought of that.
The equipment we use is a lot of open boxed equipment, like the TLM 103 microphone that we sing our vocals on. Very expensive Neumann mic. That was open boxed.
Wow.
That we bought
even a mic.
We bought that from American Music Supply when they used to do the catalogs, and you would get your catalog in your American Music Supply catalog, and you go right to the last page, and it had a list of a few open box things, and you ran to the phone to try to call and get that thing, that blemished Les Paul or that open box mic. I bought our mixing speakers, our JBL speakers, studio monitors.
A lot of things used guitars are okay. You know, you got to get them checked out and know your stuff. But
that boost pedal that we're raving about was an open box Sweetwater. It was a demo one and used in the store or something.
Have you ever found any of these open box things to be a problem in the future after you buy them?
No, because I don't tour with them. We're stay-at-home musicians. We do this for us, so it's not going to get the same wear and tear that if I'm throwing it in a pedal board and banging it around in a minivan.
That's a good point.
You know, and they're stomp boxes. You know, they're meant to be stomped on. So I think those things are okay to buy used. There's certain things I wouldn't buy used,
like
certain like acoustics. I don't feel, because you don't know where they've been stored. You know, I don't have a good feeling about used acoustics.
Temperature matters.
Yeah, you know, humidity and stuff. Because I had a nightmare situation with an acoustic I bought.
Oh yes, I know. But
it's my favorite guitar. It's on every single record, and it needed a little love. But to get it there was maybe not the easiest way.
Aren't there a couple of guys out there, like guitar players, like famous ones, that use their old ass shit with like a hole in it, like Willie or somebody, or Woody Guthrie had his old, you know.
Sure.
Isn't there something to like the soul of a guitar or something?
Sure. You know, you look at Robin Zander, who plays the same Rickenbacker 620. He said the story, I think he bought it for $150 in Coney Island. And he's played it at Budokan and all that stuff. You got Willie. I know he names his guitar something. It's a Martin. It's like a Martin nylon string, I think.
It might be a hole in one of these guys' guitars. I forget who the guy is.
Who's the guitar player for Cracker? He uses the same.
Johnny.
He
might be one of the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Man, we saw those guys. Do you remember that
heroes.
gig? Remember that gig we went to in Chattanooga?
Chattanooga, in the most seediest club ever.
ever.
I thought our organs were going to get harvested.
And we played some seedy ass clubs. We were going to a show at this one.
I thought we were going to get catfished on that one because we couldn't find the club and it was in the train yard. Cracker is my heroes. They're my all-time favorite band. They're why I do what I do.
Wow.
Cracker is awesome.
Just for a sound bite, why?
Amazing musicians, amazing songwriters, amazing. They're funny. They don't take themselves too seriously, but their recordings are pristine and awesome. And they're just master craftsmen.
They're cool too.
And they're super cool. They don't give a shit. And the best thing about that Chattanooga gig was I got to sit on a folding chair. There's like folding chairs, like a wrestling match. There was no one there.
Remember?
Well, I don't know
until
because
the last minute.
We got there 2 hours early. It was first come, first serve, front row in this little tiny club. I got to sit 3
by the
feet.
track, by the railroad track, right. The main one that's been there for years.
And Johnny opened up
at Chattanooga
for Cracker. He opened up for his own band. That was super cool.
Oh, I forgot. He has his own solo act.
Well, he did that. He did his couple songs and stuff.
He is awesome.
Yeah, and he was all kidding. I'm going to smoke those Cracker guys. And they were so good. And the fact that I got to stand 3 feet from David Lowery as he spit all over me and blasted me with his Ibanez Tallman guitars. And I don't know what amp he used, but it changed my life. I mean, it was, I needed to hear it when I needed to experience that. And
wow, it's divine timing.
And actually, that's when we ran home and recorded Season of Self-Loathing after that.
See, we really went for it after that because we were inspired. If you're listening on any streaming platform, you should be able to find Black Eyed Soul, Validation. But another honorable mention is our 2016 release, which we're talking about now, which is Season of Self-Loathing, when we first moved from Florida to Tennessee.
So we hadn't made a record in 9 years. We saw that Cracker performance, heard those songs live, and it didn't inspire us to start a band. It inspired us to make music together, you and me.
Just the two of us, the first time. This would be the first time, yep.
Because they're an artist duo. They rotate drummers and bass players and stuff. And it's just
I didn't
those 2 guys.
realize that. You told me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what that show inspired us to be the artist duo, because you were sobering up. You were getting sober.
Yes, I was.
And very proud of you. You're still sober.
Yes,
and
I am.
That show was so inspiring and so uplifting that it inspired us to run. And we were in an apartment. So we started recording in an apartment, took the drum kit out, and we just started rough tracking Season of Self-Loathing in an apartment, then finished it in the house.
Now, I must add, this was not an apartment that was soundproofed at all or even treated. We actually had to record when we thought nobody would hear it.
Correct.
And we were going to call it the apartment record, which is still, to me, a good idea. But if we move into an apartment from this home that we're in now, we may have to call it the apartment record. But that was the new experience because we had to kind of utilize the tools to get back to the 3 T's by utilizing tools that weren't loud.
Yeah. Tools, time, and talent. And that's exactly right. We were doing a lot of acoustic stuff. And we were using the K-oscillator a little bit as a rhythmic tool because we didn't know if we were going to hire a drummer or...
Sky Full of Souls. Check out that track on Season of Self-Loathing. We're talking about our own album here from 2016 when we first moved here. It did inspire us. That concert inspired us to do it with 2 people. I can't believe you just made me realize that.
I just realized it now. So if it wasn't for that Cracker show in that seedy club in Chattanooga that we almost... We're too scared to walk into the venue because we couldn't find it. So
at the trail yard,
there would be no Season of Self-Loathing. There would be no Black Eyed Soul Yes. There would be no Black Eyed Soul Almost Fiction. And there would be no Black Eyed Soul Validation. And there would be no Black Eyed Soul, the record we're recording right this very second.
Which is unnamed. And that was a really clever plug right there. I'm going to give you some props for the naming all the records by accident, but not.
Sir, I'm a professional.
Sir, I'm a professional.
Thank you, Cracker. Thank you for
now I want
inspiring
crackers.
us.
I'm hungry.
I want that T-shirt that you said I can't order.
Christ on a cracker. You know,
He's
I don't
on
want
a cracker. It's a hilarious T-shirt.
We're recording DIY 2 artists. We paint. Our lifestyle is very non-traditional in some people's eyes, and in our eyes, glorious with the time, tools, and talent that we have. But I also wanted to say, where was I going with this?
I think you were rapping and you were going to say blackeyedsoul.com is where you get to all the media. Is that, I think that's what you were leaning towards.
You can check out more content on this channel under the playlist. We are a keto family here tonight. As a matter of fact, we're having pizza. It's pizza night, and I'm having a cottage cheese crust pizza. All you do is take a small little container of cottage cheese and mix it with 2 eggs in a blender. You flatten it out on some parchment paper. You got to have the parchment paper. Cook it on 350. Guys, this takes a lot of talent, since we were talking about the 3 T's. But you got the time, you got the tools, you got the talent to stay on a low carb diet if you want to. Andrew's having a regular pizza. I'm going to make him a regular one. His body can handle it. He lost over 130 pounds. I lost 55 pounds.
162 pounds.
Wow. If you go into the playlist, there's plenty of information about how we lost weight, cleaned up our lifestyle. I got off of alcohol. It keeps you from addictions. It keeps you being able to be a normal human. And it even helps with your art when you clean up your lifestyle. Please join us and subscribe to this vibe that we got going. We talk about music a lot. So you have to love music to a certain degree, but there's plenty of diet videos if you're into that too. So it's like food, fun, and music, Gen X stylings over here. Andrew, thank you for talking to me on the mic today and for the Lovestyle podcast. Your tips are invaluable and your honesty is appreciated, and you definitely have the it factor, or the 3 T's at least: time, tools, and talent.
Well, thank you for involving me, and I love doing this with you, and I love watching you grow, and I love seeing what you create.
Keep an eye on us: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Black Eyed Soul, Misty Lovestyle. So we'll see you next time. Peace
out.